Hi, this is Anita with 5 Minutes with Art. Today we're going to talk about Edvard Munch, which is the Norwegian painter. The title of the blog that I wrote is Edvard Munch, Exploring His Art Beyond the Screen. So many times when we think of him, the only painting that we think about is the painting of the screen. So many of us maybe have not seen lots of his other artwork or been able to really see him as an artist. Before we talk about some of his other artwork, I want to talk about a little bit about his history because, really where we've come from, where our life is, how we grew up, really can make a difference as to the art that the artist produces. And this is certainly true with Edvard Munch. Dark bedrooms were constant in his youth. He was a sickly second child of 5 children. He was born on December 12th, 1863 in Norway. Chronic asthmatic bronchitis and rheumatoid fever plagued him, forcing him to spend entire winters indoors. His mother also was ravaged by tuberculosis. He was just 5 years old. His mother passed away. So his sister Karen started taking charge of the household, and she began to recognize his potential for art. She encouraged him to draw and then meticulously, preserved his work, setting the stage for his future as an artist. When he was 17 years old, he made a firm decision that he was going to pursue an art as a career. His resolve was fueled by the tragic loss of his sister Sophia to tuberculosis. The loss of Sophia had this traumatic impact on his life, and it started altering the trajectory of his life. But yet Edvard Munch really became quite the artist. He spent much of the decade in the 1890s traveling between Paris, Berlin, and Nice, where he began to mingle with many different artists and other people that were living down there. So he became much more than just the painter of the screen. But when you understand a little bit about his background, you can understand a little bit, why maybe when somebody's out there on the ocean, like he was, walking along this beautiful scene and sees the sunset and feels like it's just exploding in his head. So he painted the screen. You can maybe understand why. But he also painted some other very interesting works of art that is much more than just the screen. It really shows his talent as an artist. He believed that art could infuse structure and depth into the work. So he really believed in that as an artist. He had this ability where he could infuse the structure and the depth into his work, which made him such a unique and such a great artist. He believed that art must capture the essence of the moment. So that's one reason why the Scream has continued to be such a powerful painting and is usually listed as one of the top paintings ever produced. But he really believed in this essence of its capturing the moment, of it translating into the sensory experience, and for artwork to really, give everybody sort of like this passion and that you feel emotion when you feel and look at the artwork itself. That's what he really believed in. He has some very significant works of art, which I will put into my blog post, which I have written about him. You can go on and see some of them. They really are very, very interesting. Of course, the Scream is in there and a lithograph of the Scream itself. But there's other scenes of the beach, of the girls on a bridge. He did a version of A Starry Night, not the same as Van Gogh's Starry Night, but he did kind of a version of A Starry Night. He did some self-portraits. So there's lots of different art that he did down there, which really shows his true skill as an artist and why he is, constantly defined as one of the, the best artists that ever lived, and why he gets, so much praise for his artwork itself. This is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art, and we will put that link into our description so that you can be able to see it if you'd like to go see some more of his artwork and learn more about this great artist. We'd like to thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you for listening to us and for joining us each week to learn a little bit about art each week. We'd like to thank our team that puts this together, specifically Rico, for helping make this podcast possible.